Hi, I'm Calvin Rowland, the SVP of Business Development at F5 Networks, and I'm here at Agility 2018 with Cindy Borovick, Strategy Director at F5. Cindy, pleasure to be here with you.
Hi, Calvin. Great to be here.
Always great to spend some time together, isn't it?
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's jump into it. So here at Agility, we heard Lori talk about a number of things, but specifically this overarching phenomenon of organizations deploying more and more applications than ever before, but more importantly at a pace that's faster than previously they had ever known. And so as a result of that, they need to address their application portfolio differently. They can't just throw servers or hardware at it. As it relates to that, though, she also talked about this phenomenon called the law of diminishing deployments.
Yes.
I'd like you to talk about that.
Absolutely. So it's really fun. So when you think about it, what's happened is, as organizations think about their application portfolio, the application decides what's best for it, right? So you make your storage decisions, your server decisions, your network decisions based on the application. And our customers, the network operations teams, have always been very adept to adjusting to what the application needs. But we've had some architectural changes that are new, and that's what Lori started to talk about, which is that one of the application architecture changes are this introduction of microservices. So now the applications themselves are actually broken up into little pieces, and we know already that applications have between 4 and 8 dependencies on each other, and that's only going to increase, right? So the scale is increasing, and it's very important when you think about application services that the speed between those microservices. So it doesn't really make any sense anymore to put hardware in front of all of those little microservices, right? So that doesn't make a lot of sense. So hardware's not going to solve that problem. The other thing that's changing is we know from our research that customers want to think about application services in a new way in their deployments. In the past, best practices in data center network architecture was to have shared treatment of all of the apps or a certain percentage of your apps in the data center. So take, for instance, your mission critical applications. They would all get the same performance characteristics, the same security policies, and that was a best practice. But now we know they want to look at those applications on a per app basis. They want a custom solution for each app. And so what that means is if you think of the average organization has 1,000 apps, and we know a company called IDC is saying that the average application portfolio is going to increase by 50% in the next 3 years, right? So that's more applications, and they want a custom treatment. Well, there's just no way that a box is going to be in front of each and every one of those individual devices. And so what Lori came up with was her theory of the law of diminishing deployments. So we start to think about this scale in microservices, scale in the number of applications. And I think about it like, you know that old I Love Lucy episode where Lucy and Ethel were in the candy factory?
Sure.
And there's this conveyor belt coming and there's candy. And so, they're kind of like our network infrastructure customers. And like, okay, like I've got this candy, I'm gonna do what I need to do to make sure it's okay for the customer on the back end. Well, that speed it's going faster. And so this is happening for our customers. It's like, oh my God, all these apps are coming and I know I need to secure them, and well, maybe, and the dev teams are getting upset with me, right, because I'm holding up the process.
Pandemonium, just like it was for Lucy and Ethel.
Exactly. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, I've got this app secure in the US, but it's gonna go out to Australia and I don't know what's gonna happen. And so what Lori is saying is that you need a better process. You can't rely on your old methods. You need to start to change the process. Not just more chocolate, but the chocolate's coming at it more quickly. So more apps, but also more quickly as well, with that bespokeness, if that's a word. And so a different process is required. But I also have heard you and Lori say that it's not just process, it's also about people. That's an easy thing to say, but what do you mean when you say people? So when we mean people is that we really think, in the past, IT organizations have been pretty siloed, right? You need your network expertise, right? You need your server and storage expertise. and we need people to know how to develop the applications. But what we're saying is that a best practice in an IT organization going forward is really going to be about these teams that are business centric. They understand what the business needs in terms of the application, and that they are actually, the metrics that they are evaluated on are shared metrics. And we know that some of our customers are already along that path. We did a recent survey with Red Hat Ansible. It's called NetOps Meets DevOps, the State of Network Automation. And about a third of the respondents already have shared metrics across the entire organization, and it's really about the business goals and the business goals for those particular applications.
So this changes, we're seeing this change in the marketplace.
We're seeing this change in the marketplace.
So here you have a technology company that's advocating that our customers focus on process and people. I love it. So I could ask you so many more questions, but this is all the time we have, so we're going to leave it right here. To learn more about this subject, as well as F5's broader vision for multi-cloud application services, please visit f5.com.